There's no body, no human remains, no murder weapon, no witnesses that can tell you exactly what happened.
Credibility of who is an issue?
Well, that's a good question. I guess I'd have to be, if your credibility comes into issue, or if there's an inconsistency of any kind between your, but let's push it on.
They ignored the idea that it could be anyone else other than Mr. Anderson. And you'll hear that they meticulously searched Mr. Anderson's property, not just his house, his whole property. No body, no human remains, no evidence that there had been a huge cleanup at a crime scene, no murder weapon.
But I was laying there and I was reading my book and I heard him shout in his sleep before he woke himself up.
And what did he shout that you heard?
He said, "Die, die, die, motherfucker."
And you're quoting as best you remember?
Yes.
All right.
What did I say? And I pretty much told him what he said, and he's like, "Yeah, you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you said it." I basically knew he had did it, because I've been around killers. I know killers, like, pretty much, and he seems like a killer. I pretty much asked him, like, how did you do it?
Judge, I'm going to object here.
Not only did they search his house, they also searched his family's tree farm, an 80-acre farm, top to bottom. Multiple law enforcement agencies, every acre, no body, no human remains, no murder weapon, no evidence of a crime scene cleanup.
But those tiny little moments throughout somebody's life, nobody accounts for those. But what they do a really good job of is making up all of these things that they want you to believe when they can label you as a monster.
Also searched Miss Susan Brown Williamson's home, and that was the place that Mr. Anderson had gone in the morning to work, that the state claims is where Mr. Anderson, I guess, chopped up a body and put it in bags. They searched that property meticulously, not only the house, but the entire grounds. No body, no human remains, no murder weapon, nothing of evidentiary value. They then searched all of the bodies of water that were near that home and Mr. Anderson's home. Not Lake Michigan, but quarries and little lakes. And they had technology that could go all the way down to the bottom to see if there was anything there. That search also revealed nothing. So the person they chose as their main character, the only person they investigated in this case, they did all of that and it yielded nothing.
I'm innocent, Judge. Not guilty. I'm innocent.
Everybody, excited utterance here. Welcome into the second of our Zachariah Anderson specials. to mark the second anniversary of his wrongful conviction. And one day we'll be welcoming him onto our channel, this channel, all the other supporters' channels, hopefully to say welcome and welcome out to your freedom, Zach, because we've all been waiting for you. Yes, but today we are doing the interrogation of Zach Anderson. And again, guys, we get to see what the cops can do. Because they can lie to you. They can lie and lie and lie. And it's completely legal. They can make out like they're your friends and they're just here to help you. And unfortunately, they're not. And you really, really, really shouldn't talk to them. But Zach, he assumed that, he hadn't done anything wrong. Of course, he hadn't done anything wrong. He actually had no idea anything had even happened. And later on, he would be charged with first-degree intentional homicide and the hiding of a corpse that still has never been found. Yeah. So, hey, David, how are you? Good to see you. You're welcome in if you want. You know the way in, but no pressure. And I'll just bring my co-host in, and then we'll say hi to some people and set the scene for what's happening today. So, hello. Dude.
Yes.
Just tape it up or something.
Why? Works fine.
Why? It's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like when I go like that, I get a nice little hair flick.
Yeah.
You get a headphone flick.
Oh, yeah. It
Dude.
needs to be repaired.
Yes, it needs to be repaired. That's true. Darlie, duct tape.
I've got some. But
I
just
said that earlier. Right. The
did.
problem with duct tape is it looks like you're a murderer.
True.
Yes, Zach had some duct tape. That came into
See?
evidence. Yeah. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
some duct tape and he even has some Clorox wipes. Guilty.
How dare he?
How dare he own such things
During COVID.
during COVID. And duct tape, I mean, like he's a contractor. How dare he have duct tape? Yeah, not kidding. That was one of the things that came in evidence. Goodness knows. Hey, Katnor Williams, how are you? Love, haven't seen you for a bit. Thank you for staying a member. That's so nice of you.
She
So
had
nice
a nice
of you.
Courtney Clenny stream on Saturday.
Really?
Yes.
Did you watch this one? Did you keep up with this one? I was wondering. If you didn't, now's your chance because I'm going to play the whole trial again as soon as read is over. So this is all, we're reliving the whole god-awful experience because Zach has to live it every day. Indeed. Hey, Tracy Burton, how are you? I stay stocked up on duct tape and packing tape, yeah. Still hanging around. Yeah, Ariel, who doesn't have duct tape? You would be amazed all the murderous things I own. Hello, Mel. Hello, everybody. Nice to have you here. Yes, David is in the house. Debs in Space is here. Thank you, Debs in Space. Thank you. I worked hard on it. Appreciate that. Hey, Fiend. How are you, mate? And hey, Lou Hillier Psych. Lou has been a great supporter of Zach right from the beginning and gives some great insight into the psychological side of this. So thank you very much, Lou, for being here. Who else we got? Mysteries with Mr. Belgique. Nice to have you here. And mailboxes. Law Kong does fantastic work for Zach and makes some great content. Mods would be fantastic if you put Law Kong's link in chat. Nicola, my love, also a wonderful supporter of Zach right from the start. I'll do my best to stay awake for this. It's on midnight for me. Free Zach. Yeah, free Zach. And remember, even if you're not a member, you can always put the free Zach sign in chat. It's the I love you symbol in sign language. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's get into it. Oh, hang on. We have Kat in chat. Hello, Catastrophe. How are you? Nice to see you, love. And Chinny. Hi, mate. Chinny with the symbols. All right. So we need to set the scene for what this is about today. So let's just consider that the decedent, supposedly, because they never found his body, but we'll just assume he's dead. Rosalio Gutierrez, the decedent, he's been gone for, what's the date? It's the 20th. Let's go.
Just over 5 years.
Hang on. No. The day of the day of this. Okay, so can you go back up to the day of the? Okay, so first officers arrive on the scene. So he's been reported missing on the 19th, right? 19th of May 2020. Now, what day is the interview happening or the interrogation go down? Is it the same day?
The interrogation happens 10:52 on the 19th. Same day.
Right. Okay, same day, right. So earlier in the morning, his supposed girlfriend, although he has a couple of girlfriends, he's seeing a few women, but his girlfriend, which happens to be the mother of Zachariah Anderson's children, discovers that at Rosalio's house, there is no Rosalio. There is an open sliding door, and inside the sliding door, there's some blood on the floor, some blood on the couch, some specks of blood on the wall. The rug is missing. And so something bad's happened. All right. Something really bad has happened. And so she calls first her best friend, and they discuss the possibility that, oh, have you seen Zach? They have it in their head that Zach is responsible for some crazy reason, right? But remember, there's been a custody dispute that's been going on for quite a while. Sadie would really love to have full custody of the 3 children. But so would Zach, right? For reasons, and you'll find out why shortly. But all that aside, her new boyfriend, who she's only been seeing for about 6 weeks or so, met on Facebook dating, has obviously come to some harm, and he's not there, right? There's blood, and he's not there. Not that much blood. It's not like Nick was saying last week.
Level.
It's not a scene from The Shining, all right? But there's some blood, and he's not there. So she calls 911. Now, later in the day, she has an interview with Kenosha Police, and her daughter, their daughter, OA, is there too. I need to just state at this point that OA, she's 12, 13, and she's, imagine, she's from a broken home, like her parents aren't getting along that well. She's going through a bit of a rough time. Yeah. Everything OA says is not always true.
No.
Right. So we just need to put that out there. And unfortunately, she is put on the stand by the state a couple of years later, which I just think is the most disgusting move to put a child like that on the stand. But we'll come to that in a minute. So I just want to preface all this with how Zach ended up in the police officer's interrogation room at 10:52 p.m. that night. Now, as far as he's concerned, the reason he's there is because his ex-girlfriend or mother of his children has made allegations of stalking against him. And it's not the first time that she's called the cops to try and get him in trouble, basically. But there's never been any proper charges followed through against Zach. No restraining order, nothing like that, right? So Zach is very keen to clear all this up. He doesn't want to lose access to his children. There's 2 little boys, twin boys, and then there's the 12-year-old girl, OA. So he just really wants to fix this, yeah? And that's all he knows about. That's all he cares about. And police, as you know, they try and make out like everything is going to be fine if you just talk to us, right? It's going to be fine, yeah? So I just wanted to preface that because they're going to talk a lot about the situation with Sadie, which is the mother of his children, and this custody battle. Also, just note how they start to talk about the boyfriend and the fact that he lives in Kenosha, and Zach, he lives in Mequon, which is an hour away. Have you been to Kenosha lately? Etc. Zach's got no clue what they're talking about, but it just like flies right past his head because he doesn't know. He doesn't know any of this stuff's happened today, right? So that's all I'm going to say, and we'll get going. If anyone has other questions throughout, what state is it? Wisconsin.
Of course.
Wisconsin. Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's get into it. And I want to thank Making Law Simple, that's David, and Wilhammer Media. This was quite hard to get, this record. And when it was obtained, both Making Law Simple, David, and Wilhammer Media, they went to a lot of effort first, like to make it audible. And then David, he went to hours and hours of effort to redact the names of the children because they get mentioned a lot for their privacy, right? So thank you for all that work. And Zach's family thanks you for that. Okay, so let's get into it. Also for fast forwarding through this part.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Detective Korea. This is Detective Ornancho. Good area, north of the police department, obviously. Yeah, big that. You guys. All right. Just before we get going, can you spell your first name for me?
Sure. Z-A-C-H.
Yep.
A-R-I-A-H.
All right, and middle initial?
Sure.
Go ahead. Zachariah. And your last name, sir?
Anderson. A-N-D-E-R-S-O-N.
All right. And your birthday, sir? And then your current address. Adam Road.
Road, yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the zip code?
93092.
All right. Phone number? Any other addresses you get mail at or anything like that? PO boxes?
No, that's not one song.
All right, it's the only address. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I might be moving soon, but I don't know yet. Just depends.
All right, Zach. Currently, you are in custody. As you're aware, we're conducting an investigation. Prior to that, I was talking to you. I want to read to you your waiver of constitutional rights. All right.
Okay.
It basically states that you, Zachariah Anderson, have been advised of your right for myself, Detective Korea, the Kenosha Police Department.
Sure.
who has informed you that you have the right to remain silent and to refuse to answer questions or make a statement. Any answers or statement you make may be used in evidence against you. You have the right to consult with and have present your attorney before and during any interrogation. If you cannot afford an attorney, you have the right to ask for a court-appointed attorney before being
Listen,
interrogated.
Zach.
You also have the right to stop or answer questions at any time that you wish. Do you understand the rights that I currently refer to? Yeah, okay. So we're investigating a case of stalking involving your children's mother, Sadie. Sure. All right. So that's what we want to talk to you about. Okay. Can you kind of tell me what's going on with, like, what's up with your guys' relationship? What's been happening, going on?
Well, so we were together for like 12 years. And about 6 months ago, she flipped her script pretty hard and went from being, primary caretaker of our kids to Barfly, and so she, to my account, has picked up about 4 boyfriends. She had made comments to that effect to our daughter, and she's been chasing on with whatever guys, to my understanding, will buy her some blow, and that's how she's been spending her time. They reopened the bars in Wisconsin last week, Friday or whatever. My kids were at the bar 2 days in a row, So I submitted for custody of the kids on the 8th, retained an attorney, and submitted for custody of kids on the May. May. And then she encountered that, filed on the 13th or whatever. And she said a list of accusations about me stalking her and otherwise. And I have gone check some information on her. And I have looked to verify some things like whether or not she's going to the bar and that kind of thing. But really just for the purpose of the custody now, because it's just going to be a mess. And what I can tell you is, to my understanding, she, like around Christmas time, so we have twin boys that were born on Christmas Eve, and it's supposed to be my day with the kids, my Christmas with the kids, and just the previous one. Yeah. And I went over there and our daughter wasn't there. And I said, all right, we picked up a Christmas tree and we went to have set up the Christmas tree at her house because she has primary placement of the kids, and so put it all together and that kind of stuff. I came over in the morning, all the kids were supposed to be there, daughter's not there, and I'm like, maybe about 11:30, like asking her, are you gonna go get it? This is supposed to be my Christmas, like the boys want to open their presents, almost the afternoon, all that, whatever. And she thought she would, shut your bitch mouth and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm supposed to have the day with the kids. This is our Christmas, right? Like, you get the kids tomorrow for Christmas Day itself, but what are you shitting on the day for, or whatever? And she tries to hit me with the broom in the face, just spins around, tries to clock me with the broom in the face, and turns into this big old exchange between her and I. She shoves me into the door like 4 times and then screaming, runs outside, calls the cops. Cops show up, they arrest me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you arresting me for? She put her hands on me. I mean, I made fun of her or whatever, but talked some shit, hollered back and forth, but I didn't do anything to her. So they hauled me away, I'm like, all right. What agency was that? Germantown. So go see the DA, tell the DA, hey, this is what happened, whatever. It's not the first or second occurrence. Long story short, it happens again. She does the same thing. Cops show up, and I tell the cops, I put my hands on her. They arrest me again and haul me away. And I'm just like, it's fucking ridiculous, just because she said whatever she said. She said I'd push her at one point at the front door. I'm like, no, she turned around, ran into her own fucking Christmas decorations and tripped her damn self and spilled her shit. I didn't touch her. I didn't step forward. I didn't do shit. I just stood there and watched her make a mess of herself. And that's been kind of the thing. It's like, no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, she accuses me. Even today, as an example, or last night, if you guys get my cell phone, I'll show you how ludicrous it is. She accused me of hacking her phone, her text messages, and her emails. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, things that people shouldn't, which just my lingering suspicion is that she's doing blow. I don't know for sure. I haven't been able to verify that, but just on her behavior, and I've known her for 12 years and it's a hardship. So huge difference. So anyway, she makes a bunch of accusations and she says, well, you know how to program or something, you know how to hack my phone. So I don't even know any programming languages. I just worked for the phone company for a decade. That doesn't mean I know how to hack people's phones. Like, you don't understand what I did there maybe, but it has nothing to do with that, it's just crazy. But she's like, well, people. I'm like, nobody I'm going to ask to jeopardize their job over this bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? So she's just got some acute paranoias over shit that I can't make sense of, and so I don't know what to do with that. But as far as stalking is concerned, no, we both see other people. I specifically, when I was arrested tonight, had a girl over and I was spending time with a different girl. So I think maybe she is a little mixed up in what she thinks or feels about me, and that's fine. But really, at the end of the day, whoever's getting her high is more important. So I don't think, I don't think it's like that at all.
Hey, Gigi.
So what accusation, what else has she been throwing out besides hacking her phone?
Well, that was the latest one.
I guess over the last 3 months or so.
Most of the accusations came like in the last month, really. But she said that I was sitting on the file following her. I went to scoop the boys out of it. I was cleaning my van. I had my cell phone in my pocket and I was listening to music. And she pulled in with the kids. And I went to pull the boys out of the car seats or whatever, give them a hug. And the boys' sweatshirts were down in the middle of the seats or whatever. And I leaned in there. And either I picked him up, my son, when I picked him up, he likes to turn the light on by shaking the phone, took it out of my pocket, or when I leaned forward, I dropped the phone in her car, something like that. But I picked up the sweatshirts and I took the sweatshirts. And I couldn't find the phone. And my daughter will tell you, I searched for the phone for like 3 days. I had to call the carrier to figure out what happened to the phone. And she said, well, you were stalking me, you were tracking me, you put the phone in there on purpose. And I said, no, the fuck I didn't. No, the fuck I didn't. It fell out of my pocket. It felt like the shirt that I was wearing, the pocket's not that deep. It fell out before. It must have fallen out when I leaned in to get the kid's sweatshirt, or maybe, I don't know, I didn't see, because I was trying to reach the sweatshirts in the first place. So no, the fuck I didn't. I called the carrier. Don't make the accusation.
Okay, so this is a big deal, the whole thing with the phone, and it became a huge deal at trial. So, because when it comes down to it, if he hadn't have been brought to trial with the stalking charges, then I think it would have been very difficult to prosecute him for this intentional homicide and hiding of the corpse, because most of the trial was about sullying his name and making him look like a bad guy for being a stalker, right? So they used all of this supposed evidence of him being a stalker in regard to the whole custody battle in order to have the jury decide that he's disgusting, he's manipulative, he's a narcissist, all this stuff. And then make them think that he's capable of murder, which is a big leap anyway. But they did, in the end, decide he was capable of it because of a speck of what they believed to be a match of DNA, blood DNA, in the back of Zach's van, which was never proven anyway. But back to this phone. If Zach really did just drop a phone in the back of Sadie's car, couldn't find it, and that's truthful, right? Then this is a huge piece of evidence gone for the state. But they used it, and used it quite effectively, because she said that, no, you planted a phone in the back of my car so that you could track where I was going, right? And that's how he knew exactly where Rosalio lived, because she went to Rosalio's house and he could tell where she'd been, right? Makes sense, right?
Mm.
But if he wasn't using it for that, if he really did truly lose it, then he's not stalking her, right? But how can he prove he's not stalking her?
But inevitably, the way she sees it is I'm stalking her. And I said, honestly, I know you're going out with other dudes. You brag about. You didn't brag about one guy, you bragged about 4. Go, what the fuck? Truth is, I cheated on her some long time ago. She's never a big poison relationship. She never got over it. And, she's moved on her own way. She started hanging out with a friend of hers from high school. And I think, maybe got put in drug into a bad situation, all pun intended, I guess, drug into a bad situation. And, that's her choice. I can't stop her from it. I mean, I love her, some other of my kids, but, it's, I don't know. I'm going to try to stop the train wreck, I guess.
All right.
Well, so we spoke with her. She's making a few other accusations against you.
Okay.
It was a night last month, early morning hours, and you showed up at her house.
I went and bought a new couch. She told me I could come back and pick up the stuff out of the garage just to let her know, and I let her know, and then she got all shitty. We had a good conversation, and yeah, there were some tears or whatever, but that's it. Not because.
What time was this at? What about what day?
Late as shit, midnight, 1 o'clock, shit, maybe even later when I got done moving the couch in. I had to go all the way up the walk shore to pick it up. So.
With the kids? That night?
She had the kids in. Yeah. But I was hurt.
Pick up the couch at 1 a.m?
No. I picked up the couch at like 10 at night or something like that.
eBay or Craigslist or something, or from a place?
Yeah, Craigslist. And then I took it back to my place, and then I was waiting on my cousin to come help me load it into my house because I can't carry a couch by myself. The guy sold it to me, whatever. And I told her, well, maybe I'll just swing back by tonight and pick it up and bring our daughter her skateboard or whatever. And I did. And I just, knocked on the door and I said, hey, this is what's going on. And it wasn't, it was pretty straightforward. I told her it was going to be late as shit, and she was like, well, that's fine. I said, maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'm up, I'll do it, whatever.
Anybody at her house that night?
Nothing, no.
Nobody?
I mean, the kids, I would assume, I guess.
Was there another night that you went over there when you had the kids?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that night.
There was another vehicle in the driveway. She was claiming that she wasn't seeing anybody and she just needed some space for us to get back together. Our daughter had gone through her cell phone, got a bunch of messages.
Tell me about those. We'll go step by step here, man.
All the messages my daughter read through. I don't know exactly because our daughter likes to fabricate some information, but in short, mom's seeing somebody else, telling him that she loves him and all that kind of stuff. And I was saying, you're cutting me along, pushing me along, trying to tell me like we have a future or that like things are a possibility, but you just want some space. You're upset after our last argument or whatever, and it's not true. And so she kept insisting, no, that's not the case or whatever. I love you, all this kind of shit. And so I did go over there, and found out that she was seeing somebody else. And okay,
Where were the kids?
With me.
Sure.
Yeah, I loaded them into the car and took them with me.
Okay. How did you know there was someone else there?
Premonition or weird feeling when I talked to her,
Is this something you've done before?
No, that was the impression that I got. That's something else.
What gave you that?
Just the way she talked, the way she behaved, real eager to get home, like something else was going on. If I remember right, it was like she didn't have time to, it was at a different night.
How old are your kids, man?
The twin boys were 4.
And your other daughter?
12 now.
What time was this?
I don't remember the exact time.
So you loaded your 4-year-old up? Premonition.
Yeah. I knew something funny was going on.
And I guess why would it matter?
For me, because we had a definitive answer whether she's lying or not, I mean, this was, I don't know, weeks ago now.
Did she bet you over?
She has, yeah.
Did she that night?
No.
Have you ever done this before? Went over premonitions?
No.
And what if I told you that I have reason to believe that the 4-year-old went with you that night?
Why would you originally be wrong with me?
Because we spoke with
Yeah. I mean, 1 good, but 2 of them, she said that they were there. That's goofy.
I don't know, she really doesn't have a reason to lie to us.
Says you. I mean, I kind of know my daughter, and she doesn't have a reason to lie about a lot of shit. I mean, she just did a whole.
I'll tell you this, most of the conversation that we had with her, she chose your side.
Right.
Most of it.
Okay.
Okay. And I think she was being honest with me, or she wouldn't have chose your side. She would have made you look like the bad dude the whole time, but she didn't.
Okay, so this must be really, really tough for Zach because he knows that his daughter doesn't always tell the truth, right? And it must be tough for him to have to tell the officers that I'm sorry, but she does fabricate things just like he said a moment ago. And the officer's sitting there going, well, she took your side. Now, the officer could be completely bloody lying.
Yeah.
Right? He could absolutely be lying through his teeth because his daughter might not have been taking his side at all. We don't know. We don't know. And let's just say, like, all I do know is that later on, a couple of years later, she got up on the stand and testified against her dad, and it was damning for him. And I feel terrible for her that the state had her do that, that her mum allowed that to happen. And yeah, that was, I can't even put into words that a child would be allowed to be, I suppose, manipulated into putting their dad into prison for the rest of his life. She didn't know what happened. She had no idea. Yeah. Kate, Sadie seems like the manipulator, and I can't believe they had his daughter testify against him, plus the ridiculous prosecution and judge. It was a very disappointing trial, Kate. Her testimony was just, it was the most gut-wrenching moment. It was just the look of just pure confusion on Zach's face. Just, he couldn't comprehend what she was saying, why she was saying it. And then to see Sadie from the gallery trying to, like, coach her, you could see her coaching, and the things that came out of her mouth, the daughter, even though they were struck from the record, absolutely. There's no doubt they would have affected the jury, because people out here still recall them. Yeah. They left the jury thinking that Zach pointed a gun at his daughter. It was all over then. Yeah. And that never happened. Never happened. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
She didn't. She made you sound like a good dad.
Yeah.
And really had nothing negative to say for the most part.
Yeah.
Which led me to believe that she's telling me the truth. She doesn't have a reason to lie to me, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. And I'll give you some examples. Okay. So, so she just got in trouble. It was a big sting. She just got in trouble for putting.
Okay, so this is blanked out because it's about the daughter and it's private.
I know she had the other Monday. I stopped over by Sadie's house a couple weeks ago now, and I'm talking to. And Sadie comes.
Okay, so this is a good point. Thank you for asking, Mary W. But wasn't Zach using sign language in court to testify, to send to his daughter while she was testifying?
Zach.
Zach, no, that was the
Sadie.
That was Sadie. Sadie was using sign language to. So there was a sort of a pew here, right? And you could see the hands underneath it. Sadie is certified American Sign Language interpreter, and in the house they would use sign language a bit. Zach knows a bit of it, but not like Sadie does, right? So yeah, Sadie was signing to her daughter. Yeah, Sadie was. So there was something that got played over and over again of Zach going like that to his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was seen as, by the media, that was really played up by the media as Zach being like telling her to shut up, right? Like, don't keep talking, that kind of thing. Harparish, OA was trying to talk to Zach during objections, and Zach tried to get her to stop by closing his lips. Yeah. I mean, that clearly wasn't a great move.
Yeah.
But you got to understand that the whole situation was chaos.
Yeah.
Right? It was absolute chaos.
It was also the first time his daughter had seen him in over 2 years. She
shouldn't have been up there.
No, she was so confused, and
yeah,
she didn't even have to be. They could have had her. There's a rule in Wisconsin where children or minors can testify behind closed doors, like on a video screen, but nobody suggested that method.
Yeah, it was just so wrong. The whole situation was just so wrong. Yeah, she was stressing. You could tell she was just stressing out.
And she was,
her voice was shaking.
And she had an attitude, for sure.
That too.
I mean, she's a 14-year-old teenager. But it's just, it was just such a cluster up.
Yeah, Schnibble. So no, the state needed her there live for the drama because her case was so shit. Yeah, I mean, it helped the state.
Yeah.
So they would use whatever they could, including putting a child through that trauma. That's how crap they were. Yeah. Yeah. And also, the prosecutor was mouthing to a witness what to say too.
Yeah, at least twice, I think. I know the one
At least twice. At least twice. Yeah.
She said you could verify, but for whatever reason, she tries to lie a little bit to make things look a certain way, and it's not true. So I hear you, and like a lot of it's very credible, and it's tough for me as a dad to try and figure out, but there are some things that it's just like, why wouldn't you just tell the truth about that? I'll give you another one. The last 2 times she's gone over to my dad's house, she keeps stealing my little sister's cell phone. They can track it, like they look at where it goes. Why are you taking it? It doesn't matter. No, well, but I didn't. And no, she tells a lot of truth and then some lies when she wants to try and curtail.
She got punished for that one, right? What was the punishment? Anything else? You guys take anything away?
Well, the cell phone.
Which one? One she took, or?
Well, that got returned to my sister, so of course that one. And then as far as her own, I don't know if that, did she have her cell phone then? And I think she had her cell phone. Her mom got her a phone for her birthday, and so her phone,
right?
Yeah, so her phone got taken.
Okay. Speaking of her birthday, let's talk about that day.
Sure.
Okay.
I got the kids that morning. We go down the trail, skateboard. We go down the trail, practice riding the skateboard. Everything.
Sadie was there for that.
Yeah, she stopped by. My brother was there. My sister was there.
Good day.
Yeah, it was a little overcast. Wish there was a little bit more sunshine, but it was by and large a good day. And then Sadie invited us all back to open presents at her house, so we all went over there and ordered food, and then they screwed up the food order, so we had like double order food.
Pause for a minute. Does this look like a man who just murdered someone 12 hours ago? Talking to the cops? Like, really? Look at the way he is, right? And I am no body language analyst, right? Like, look, I don't even believe in any of that shit. But he seemed pretty goddamn calm, right? To be in a room with 2 police officers and he's cornered, right? They're doing the whole cornering thing. There's no escape. Yeah? It's late. It's like 11:30 p.m. He's cornered and they're talking to him. And if he murdered someone, and I mean like a giant dude in cold blood, like bludgeoned him to death, and they're talking about the situation with the woman they both had in common, he's pretty goddamn calm, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's just like, whatever. Talking about the situation with my missus. Yeah? And my daughter. This is all bullshit. I'm not stalking anyone. This is crap. Yeah?
big buffet. But generally speaking, a pretty good day.
Any conversations with Sadie?
Yeah, he really is cornered.
Yeah, we had some words because my mom's been very promiscuous and I have a lot of half siblings, right? And
This bit,
one of
I forgot about this
sister
bit.
made a comment about mom being a whore or a slut, or I mean sleazy or something like that or whatever. And I'm like, damn, don't say that. Mom's standing right there. And Sadie got all pissed at me. So we did have a conversation because she took offense to it, joking that it was her that my sister was talking about. My sister was
Yes, Myra.
Information on Sadie.
Yeah.
So
Where did kids stay that night?
with Sadie. Because they're with me the night before.
Okay, the night before that. The night before that, the night all this went down, where you went over and saw the man, the dude.
No, I believe so. I don't recollect what day that was. Because you got Sadie.
I did. That's on that.
Okay, sorry.
The whole incident involving the guy.
Yeah, I don't remember that was the night. I don't think so, but I don't remember exactly.
Well, like I said, I have no reason to doubt what he was telling me.
Okay. I mean, I do just got a long track record as a Germantown police, but
I mean, she described some pretty great detail on what happened that night at the house, as far as looking through the windows and all that. And she's claiming she got drugged along.
yeah, sure.
Why would she tell him that right after saying maybe you're going to get out and all that?
I don't know what she perceived she could get in trouble for, or so I don't. Did you look through the window of the house and see someone in there? Yeah, the windows were open. I go through the windows and see. There's no blinds covering the back door. Did you take pictures? No. Did you take video? No. Take all your recording? No. Nothing. No. So you had the same bullshit accusations? No, I did. What did you hear? Nothing. Saw them laughing, saw them, doing their thing or whatever the hell. And okay, they had the music on and they're doing whatever they do.
Okay. At any point did you have in the window?
Yeah.
Initially, when you first got there with him?
I don't remember initially. What I know is at some point I was like, oh no, go back to the car.
Okay. Did you place any cell phones anywhere?
No.
I mean, this is something she told me, and then this is something that a 13-year-old girl is not going to come over on her own to get her dad in trouble.
I didn't place any cell phones anywhere. What happened originally was Sadie was slapped in the face to discipline her when she was yelling at her.
When was this?
Like a month and a half ago, and recorded it on her school laptop. She came to me and she told me, and I said, hey, Mom, no. She's slapping you? She said, yeah, Dad, she slaps me. She yells at me. I said, no. That's not like her at all, it's really not her character, but you recorded it. I'll give you the fucking recording. So she starts the recording, Mom screaming at her, going, okay. And she swings at her again and she hits the laptop itself. And that to me, I don't know how many weeks ago, I'd have to look at the video, or whatever. And at that point, I told her, nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Nobody's going to believe me if I say, hey, Mom's the violent one. She's the one losing her shit. And she's the one getting the kids. But it doesn't stop there. And she stands the boys up against the wall and hits them on their arms and legs. So it looks like they're fighting. At night when it's cold out, she takes the blanket away because they're playing, using their blankets and playing and stuff like that. And then she calls me and she's got the boys in the background. Owie, getting hit by Mom. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? The boys misbehaved. They're 3, 4. I stand them up against the wall, give them a few minutes to think about it, flick them in the head or something like that. But nothing, I'm not hitting them. I'm not taking the blankets away at night. If I put my kids to bed, I'll just lay down.
What does this whole thing have to do with putting a cell phone somewhere that night?
So what happens is I give one of my old phones so she can record what's going on. So I have some evidence. And then so yes, there are cell phones, but I didn't put a cell phone anywhere for that purpose. I gave it to my daughter to record when she's being abused or when the boys are being abused.
Okay, but again,
I didn't put a cell phone anywhere.
Yeah, that's my question, and you're dancing around.
No, I'm just saying.
It's a yes or no. It's got nothing.
I put a cell phone in my daughter's hands, if that's what you're getting at, but I did not put a cell phone in her car. Where? at my house.
I'm talking about that night at the house where you peeked through the window.
No. I didn't give her a phone or have her record anything or anything along.
Okay. So, Mel, I believe Sadie encouraged her daughter to testify to make Zach look guilty. That's absolutely what happened. She wouldn't be testifying without Sadie being involved with that. Okay, so yes, that happened. Sadie was also the person who allowed her to speak to the police. It was with her consent that she was doing interviews with the police. There was, and in fact, just before Zach was finally charged with the murder, there was an interview with the daughter with Sadie's consent. One of the last things that happened in the investigation, but we'll get to that shortly. Now, what is being discussed right now ends up also being a big part of the evidence against Zach at trial. And that is this whole visit to Sadie's house and looking through the window, right? And it doesn't look good for Zach, right? This whole thing with going and looking through the window with his daughter with him doesn't look good for Zach. And let's just be really honest here. Of all the things that Zach did, this is probably the one that doesn't look really doesn't look good. Yeah, that he went to the house, he had his daughter with him, and they both went up to the window and looked through the window. Yeah. Why? Because he thought that apparently the mother was doing is what he's telling the police officers, that she was up to no good with her friends doing blow. But that makes no sense as to why you would bring the daughter up to the window, right? That's what he's telling the cops. It's not my words. Yeah. There's really not much good excuse for that. People make mistakes. It doesn't make him a murderer. Right? Now, they're trying to do him for stalking. Now, he's saying that he gave the daughter a phone to get evidence of this supposed slapping abuse that's happening in the home with the mother. But that would be used against him too, because if he's giving a phone to the daughter so that he can track the movements of the mother, that's different, right? Yeah. So it's the daughter's home, indeed, right? So none of this, but it doesn't look good, Lord Kong, right? It just doesn't look good. Yeah. The daughter belonged there. Absolutely. Yes, it's her home. I know that. Yeah. Sadie was working on this since March. What are you talking about? I'm just going to go back to the beginning of this. What you talk about, Lord Kong? Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay. Okay. So just to put all of this into perspective, all this stuff that he's willingly giving to the police, and he shouldn't be, right? But he doesn't know that this is all part of a much bigger plan to get him for a much bigger crime. He doesn't even know the crime's happened. He's got no clue. Yeah. But he's giving all this information over, and it's all going to be used against him, and he's waived his right already. Anything you do, say, can and will be used against you.
Those fucking lines, man.
No cell phone was put anywhere, whether it recorded something.
No, dude, no. I told you no. Her paranoia, her fear, whatever, that's on her. Whatever she told you or thought, she said the same bullshit to me. And I told her repeatedly, I did not record you.
And again, man, I have a young girl who loves her dad.
Yeah.
Telling me things, crying, that are 100% true. Believe me, they're 100% true when I'm talking to her.
Yeah, and she told school she had leukemia for 2 weeks. I mean, most of it's true, but then some things aren't. I did have a cell phone.
Dude,
I did have a
this is craziness for her to make this up and come up with it like that. I got a daughter the same age, man.
I hear you,
They
but,
lie, and you know what? When they lie, I know they're lying.
right.
Right?
So I'm saying I did have a cell phone because you can turn the light on and see where the fuck you're walking, but I didn't record anybody.
So you have a cell phone out.
Yeah, I had a cell phone with me. I don't know that I had it out, but I did have a cell phone with me.
Right?
Well, I don't know if I don't remember how dark it was or if I pulled the cell phone out that night. So I would assume so, but
What's the cell phone number on that phone?
I don't know it offhand.
Is it your phone?
Is it your phone?
It's not my regular phone. No.
Here we go.
You don't know the number?
Got more than one phone, they're going to say you've got a burner
Where
phone.
is it?
Probably in my possessions.
Your logo money?
Yeah.
So there's not gonna be any pictures or anything like that in there?
Fucking look, you guys, come on. I keep telling you, you're killing me here, you know?
Is there a passcode or anything on them?
No.
All right.
No, like I said, I gave one of my daughters so she could record mom hitting the boys, mom hitting her, you know, that kind of stuff. I have some recordings of those exchanges for that interest. I know that this is Sadie off because she caught and recorded her, you know, maybe they're going through her phone and all sorts of shit. And there's been tremendous complaints about violation of privacy by Sadie. But, you know, ultimately, stalking, look, I verified whatever two-faced bullshit she was shoveling me about, you know, we're going to get back. I just need some space. I'm still mad at you, all that, or whatever. No, you're seeing somebody else. And then once I called her out about that.
Who was it?
Huh?
Who was it?
Oh, some Mexican guy. I mean, I understand, you know, I looked up his information or whatever, best I could figure out, but.
What's the name?
Jeannie showed his Facebook and his name is Junior. I don't remember the spelling on the last name, but I remember it started with a G.
Who showed it? Gina?
Jeannie, her grandmother, Sadie's dad's wife. Showed what Sadie was talking about, bragging about he's a contractor, he's got 2 kids, and Jeannie showed the Facebook, so she knew who mom was dating, I guess, and then mom started saying that she was dating somebody at that point.
You know where he's from?
Down here.
When was this? When did this all go down? When did you find out about him?
Weeks ago. Shit, months ago, maybe weeks ago.
Who told you about him?
Going through the text messages, mom's talking to this guy, mom's talking Leo, John, Junior, you know, all the guys mom's seen.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up also, Half Irish, that she wasn't, he thought that she was seeing a bunch more people than she was, but she's got there are different names for Rosalio, right? So Rosalio goes by Leo, by Junior, obviously Rosalio, so there's at least 3 names for him, right? On Facebook, he's Junior. In her phone, he's Leo, but people obviously refer to him by his full name, which is Rosalio, right? I don't know about this John. Yeah, Junior, Rosalio, Leo. And it's also spelled L-I-O as well. So there's Leo or L-I-O, all the same boyfriend of Sadie. And Sarah, I recall this as well, that he brought his daughter to look in the window because she was mad Zach had a girlfriend and didn't believe mum was dating someone else. And there was this idea of proving it to her. And yet it wasn't the smartest move. There's a few sort of reasons behind this, but it doesn't really matter. Like it wasn't the smartest move, right? I think we can all kind of accept that, but it doesn't make someone a murderer or even necessarily a stalker to go up to a window once.
Those were confirmed names or you just throw names out there?
No, those are the names that out of mom's phone and told me, you know, which ones were true or not. Oh, you think she's all everything?
Leo?
Yeah.
There's a John?
Yeah.
Who else? What else is it? Junior?
The Junior, yeah.
Yeah. Did you figure out who Leo was? John? Just Junior?
I mean, Junior was the one that she opened up about. Yeah.
What did she say about him?
He's a contractor, you know. Yeah, Sadie told him about it. Yeah.
Not to you.
Hmm?
Oh, she opened up
Yeah.
to you. You know where this guy lives or stays other than being here in Kenosha?
Don't know, yeah.
All right. You ever been down this way?
Yeah, I've been to Kenosha.
Listen to this.
I don't know, all sorts of stuff. I mean, I've lived in southeast Wisconsin most of my life.
Oh, okay. What about in the past year? Been out in the past year? Past 3 months, past month?
I'm down this way. Generally hanging out with my little brother. We travel around to different friends' places and play board games and shit like that. I don't know if we've ever made it all the way down to Kenosha, but you know.
So there's no reason why, like, your vehicle would have
Ah.
no license plate reader or anything like that down this way, or
Nothing at all.
nothing you know of, or yes or no?
I don't know. I mean, other people borrow my cars too, man. I mean, shit. But no,
I didn't know that. I would never let someone borrow my car to go from Mequon to, hey, you mind if I take your car down to Kenosha?
Depends on what, no, where the jobs are, man. You know, working on houses and shit. So
Is that what you guys do? Or is that what you, are you a general contractor as well?
they help my little brother.
Zach is just not picking up on this shit at all. See? It's just like completely flying past him what they're doing here. They're trying to get him to talk about driving to Kenosha from Mequon. Would your car be being caught on any traffic cameras? Would you be lending your car to anyone? How could you lend your car to someone and not know? That's very strange, right?
Other views. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What type of work? Like house repair, roofing, like, or what?
yeah. Renovation stuff.
Everything?
Yeah, general contractor.
So have you guys had any jobs down here
Easy, Anna.
in the past couple months?
Yeah, I mean, my little brother was everywhere, so I haven't personally worked down here, so
Okay. Does your brother live with you?
no.
They just come and get your car sometimes?
Well, if his van is in the shop or whatever, he'll use the van. You know,
All right. What kind of van do you have?
Some old Caravan.
You know, approximate year?
2000s.
Color?
Black.
Not sure.
Yeah, it's like navy blue or black. I don't know. I don't drive it too much. I can drive it.
He doesn't even know his car.
You know the plate on it?
No.
Oh, absolutely, Kate.
All right, so you mind if I call your brother and say, hey, have you had any jobs down here in the past couple months? Are you willing to give me your brother's information?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
At this hour? No, fuck no.
No, I'm not gonna call him at this hour, but I need his information to call. I'll call him tomorrow or something.
No, I'll check with my brother to see what the fuck's going on.
All right. But as far as you know, you've never been down here in the past couple months, but it's possible your brother used your car and may have been down this way.
No, yeah, it depends on where it's been jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
What I know is that my cousin was saying, or his buddy was saying that he was driving like an hour for work or something like that. And so I was an hour down this way.
Your cousin?
My cousin was talking about my brother bitching that it was an hour away, right? So.
When's the last time you used it?
My van.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, usually when I get the kids, I use the van, you know, so throw the price of kids big enough for them.
When's the last time your brother used the car?
He's with us to take him every month.
In the car?
Not in the house, yeah, it's all in the car.
Oh, so he has access to and from your house and do what he wants.
That's what these guys, if they want, like if they need a van to move something or whatever for work, sure, they can grab a van.
I got you. How many guys does he got employed with him?
One full time anyway. You know, he asks for help from my guys, but.
Who's the other guy?
My cousin.
What's his name?
Alan.
What's your brother's name?
Saul.
What is it?
Saul.
Same last name? What's Alex's last name?
Oh, he's married in. His mom's my dad's sister, so. I don't know. I didn't know that. You didn't know.
Those are the two regular employees.
So, well, we just saw Saul out when he was the extra units, you know. So he just got one.
Basically, those are the two people that may have had your car.
Yeah, I would expect so, if anybody used it.
The rest of the people are just random, but.
No, the rest of the people, no. The people
You
that
said you're the one regular employee?
Yeah.
So he would just allow anyone to use this?
It's open for that. He uses my shop too, you know, store tools and that kind of shit. It's open for them for whatever purposes they need.
You have a little shop?
Yeah, it's not in good shape, but I throw a bunch of material in it really.
Your dad a cop, interesting.
Off the barn, unless the barn's leaking, fucking everything.
Have you ever followed her down here?
Never found it.
When you dropped your phone, you said you dropped your phone or somehow the phone ended up in her car or something. She accused you of
Using the tracker. Right?
okay, using the other tracker.
Yeah.
Were you able to track your phone? I mean, were you able to go online or your cloud or I don't know, is it an iPhone? Is it a Samsung? I don't even know what it is.
No, it's a Cricket. But no, I couldn't. I had to call the carrier to figure out where the cell phone was last. And so when I called the carrier, they said it was in North Kenosha on 5-8 or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, Kenosha, that's where Sadie's boyfriend lives. So when I called Sadie, she denied it. And I'm like, well, it would be awfully coincidental that the day I lose my cell phone, the carrier can verify that it went down to Kenosha. So it's got to be in your vehicle. So then she let me come over and look through her vehicle. And I'm like, I mean, come on. If it goes down to Kenosha, it's got to be here somewhere. In short, she stole it, and she wouldn't give it back to me unless I said that I was tracking her. And then I said, fine, I was tracking you, whatever. Can I have the phone back? She's like, finally, some truth. She gives me the phone back. And I'm like, I wasn't fucking tracking you. Thank you for the phone back. And then she got all shitty with me. She's like, oh, now you change your story because you get the phone back. You were all nice in the first place. And I'm like,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, because I want the fucking cell phone back, not because I was trying to track you. Because if I was trying to track you, I put the fucking app on there like the carrier told me to do because otherwise you got to call in for it, you know? And I'm like, you can call the carrier yourself, you can see. And when she gave me the cell phone back, I unlocked it for her so she could see it and make sure that there were no recordings and that there was no tracking shit on there.
How long after your phone was lost did you get it back?
One day, almost on Friday. I got
Oh, Zach. Oh my God. He told her that he was tracking her just to get the phone back. You kidding me? Oh, and then he told the cops he told her that he was tracking her. Oh, slap, slap, slap.
or something like that, yeah.
Which you don't know if you got a cloud app of some sort. You can go on there and just erase that. Right?
I don't get it. Well, let's be honest, I use a fucking flip phone most of the time. I didn't know that. I don't.
Okay. I'm not saying you did that. I'm just saying, well, I mean, I could wipe my phone and show it, hey, there's nothing on here.
No, I didn't know. Okay.
Well, you work for a phone company. Who'd you work for?
AT&T.
Through a cellular store or through a hardline or?
No, I was a network technical specialist that handled the national critical infrastructure between the United States and Japan. So undersea fiber optic cable. Okay, so you want nothing to do with that. Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Laid cables. He's not an IT nerd.
All right. Can you just give us a couple minutes? We'll be right back. Need some more water or anything?
Yeah, I'll take some more water down.
All right, we'll be right back.
I'm saying, guys, whatever I did, go chase about Sadie, man. I'm not stalking her. You know, I mean, it's fine. She's got a right to go her own direction. You know, I seen that she's got a boyfriend, not just pretending we're going to get back together so she can get shit out of me. I don't know what the fuck's going on with her behavior, but I really can't account for her. Really, you know, I can't account for her shit. As far as our daughter goes, our daughter looks to protect her from mom and me.
Well, like I said, man, if she's talking shit about you the whole time, I get it. Okay?
No,
So she wasn't. She talked you up. She started out talking you up. And a few things she blurted out didn't make you look good. And these aren't things that are like, hey, I'm just gonna throw this out there and fuck with the detective. I mean, this is shit that a 13-year-old girl isn't gonna make up off the top of her head.
12, and she does make up some shit off the top of her head.
Man, I don't think so.
I appreciate your skepticism because honestly, I felt that way too. Really wanted to take her at face value because she'd tell half.
Oh, that's a little bit, that's different, dude. To lie about that. I get it.
No, she lies for her mom's sake. She lies for my sake, trying to play some game too. It's not, I understand you talk to her, but.
So she might play games back and forth with you guys. That's what a normal kid does, man. That's what they're gonna do, to game one up on parents.
Yeah.
Get it. But when you're sitting in a room with a police officer, mom wasn't in here, man. It was just me.
Right.
Mom, one-on-one. Just tell me what's going on. You're stuck in the middle. You're in a shitty spot. It is. It's stuck to be a kid in the spot, right? Just tell me the truth, right?
Someone's phone moved in the car and she's saying that they're not because they should have moved in.
No, she even went as far as to say that the boys she got home with them messed the pants. And I mean, Why is she making this stuff up? Like, why is she going that far to make things up?
One of them did mess their pants that night, that's true. But
I mean, I don't think this is something she's going to get confused about that. And
how would
well, I don't
you
think it's something I'm
know?
gonna get confused.
Dude, how would you know when this girl is lying and not?
Yeah.
Right? The father would be far more likely to know. The mother would be far more likely to know. How would you know? Right? You're sitting there going, I don't think that she would make this shit up. It's just me and her. And she is sitting with a cop. Why would a kid make this up? I don't think she's lying. And then her father says, look, sorry to tell this to you, but she lies for me, my sake. She lies for her mother's sake.
Yeah.
And you can see it's hard for Zach to say these things about his daughter. He doesn't want to, but he has to, like, he's in trouble with the police. He has to say it. Sorry, my daughter does make things up. And
Yeah.
I just want to punch this cop. Like, he's trying to use his daughter against him. This is so wrong.
No. So I hear what you're saying, but something's not adding up.
You are to make yourself look better. I get it.
And make herself look better.
She had no advantage. There was no advantage to her telling me this.
How do you
There was
know?
nothing that she advantage. And there was no.
There's no advantage to her lying about stealing
Like,
herself too, but
you
she
don't
still does. And it's like, it's what she perceives, she thinks is, you know.
But she admits that to us. Like, she doesn't like deny it. You know, she talks about what she did. Like, yeah, here's what I did. And to us, obviously, let's be honest. I mean, the kids, they're gonna lie to their parents. It is what it is. Maybe it's because
She lies to the school, she lied to the cops, she lied to fucking everybody, man. I like your guys' faith in her, that's great, but I'm
She's in trouble.
oh, no, even when she's not in trouble. Look, you guys haven't been with this shit the last 2 weeks, so I'm just telling you, it's been a circus trying to sort what's true and what's not out of my daughter's mouth the last couple of weeks. And for something like that, I think it really comes down to what she perceives is right, culpable or whatever. I don't think, I know I like to have faith in what my daughter said, but you know, this whole thing, like I wanted her to believe shit. It's like her friend that was snitching around. I'm like, no, not my little girl, right? But there were other things. Even like once she was busted out, turning all that stuff over to the cops and be like, here's the evidence. She would withhold the evidence too, and then catch her with more. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You know, and on and on. And so no, because there's like an angle to it. There's a reason to it. And if she thinks the boys could get in trouble, or I don't know what's running through her head. She might say something goofy, but I don't know.
But I guess what we're getting at is that she wasn't, it's not like she's sitting here with her mom. She's not sitting here with her dad. So she's being essentially neutral in all this. Like, yeah, dad's doing this, but he's great. Mom's doing this, but she's great. She's not like saying everything that, hey, you're the best and mom's bad, or mom's the best and you're bad. She's not doing that. You know, she's kind of even keel on everything. She's not trying to get one person over the other.
Yeah, I'm hearing what you guys are trying to sell me, but I just don't. And I wasn't there to see it, you know.
I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you how they hit. I'm not trying to sell you something here.
Well, you're trying to sell me the notion that my daughter was honest about whatever.
I think she was, because she started out with the picking your side. She's on your side this whole time. Sadie says that, she says that, and you know
Liar.
that. She was picking you, man. You guys are tight. You guys are very tight.
Please.
Are you not? Are you not tight with your daughter?
I love my daughter very much and she loves me, but she straight face lied to me repeatedly.
It's obvious. And that's obvious by talking to her.
So how did she lie about the boys?
I don't know. I don't think she was lying to me.
I mean, we can go around this fucking, we can go around the block all you want, but
Sure.
At the end of the day, I'm pretty suspicious what my daughter says. If you're not, that's up to you, So, what other questions do you have for me, though, guys? I'm fucking tired. What do you want from me?
Just the truth about everything. And I mean, that's kind of what we want. We want to find out. We kind of went over the stories, and you kind of gave us your reasoning behind those stories, whether they were true or false or whatever. I mean, the main thing is to try and find that happy medium. in all this.
Yeah.
And
So say, after I was arrested on Christmas or whatever, say put down for a restraining order and shit. And so we go to court and she writes a bunch of stories like she's been trying to keep a catalog over the last 12 years about a piece of shit I am.
Gonna work out to her.
Well, no, because we get in front of the judge and she tells the judge, like one of the stories in there, I'm going through the stories and I'm like, holy shit, right? Like just lie after lie, exaggeration after exaggeration. But she tells the judge, she tries to convey to the court that like there was an instance where I insisted that we have sex. We were fooling around and I insisted we have sex, and then we didn't because she didn't want to, and then I threatened to go fuck somebody else. But the reality of that story was essentially this. We were fooling around. She didn't want to. She got upset, embarrassed, or whatever. And she said, if you want somebody that can fuck at the drop of a dime, you're going to need to go find somebody else. And I was like, what the fuck just came out of your mouth? And that's just an example of the twist she takes things and the exaggeration she makes of things. So, as far as her stories or what's going on, I'm not hacking her cell phone. I'm not hacking her email. I'm not hacking her shit. I'm not stalking her. There's some things that I checked. I would love to catch her, getting high with her boyfriend just so I could say to the court, I deserve custody of my kids because this is how she spends 3 days a week. My kids shouldn't be taken to the bar.
is that what you've been trying to do?
That's all I've been looking for, man, is just to validate that. Once I found out that she was fooling around with somebody else because of what we saw through the windows, when I did go to her place, which I did do, it would be nice to verify it. And the only reason that I even came up to that was talking to a counselor who said, it sounds to me like she's moved into hard narcotics. It sounds to me that the way that she's behaving is I got a woman who's been a good mom and a caring mom for most of life so far, and then suddenly in the last 6 months it's like a wicked shift to everything I say or do is somehow I'm the big bad guy, and then our daughter's in the middle of this like a fucking pawn, and it's just a bloody mess. I mean, I just don't even know what to make of it when she's got stories and she's got spins on all sorts of bullshit that because I work at AT&T, I can hack your cell phone. I'm like, that's ludicrous. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. And that's just kind of and there were other things in there. And then when I told the judge, he's like, it's just the reality. You think that woman would have stayed with me if I basically raped her, like forced her to have sex with me? That's not the way it went, Judge. We stayed together for 12 years. It was great at times. It was bad at times. But, in the end, called marriage. I'm in a cheated on her, boys in the relationship. So, no going back. I mean, even if people start a rumor, it doesn't matter. Some girl said to me at a party that I could do something sexually to her or whatever. Oh man, her friend overheard it or whatever, took it back to Sadie, and she just kept on with this shit. And I'm like, I'm not. That was my friend's date. Like, this is fucking ridiculous, like all these accusations. It's not the case. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right. So listen, this is her accusations, and I'm going to go through them again. Okay.
Sure.
You followed her, or went to her house, looked through the windows. You confirmed that. Okay. And confirmed that because she was with you.
Sure.
Okay. You get a cell phone to record her when she gets mad.
She abuses the kids, yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever report that? I went to an attorney and I asked the attorney, and they said that they have to go through the process establishing parental fatherhood and paternal, whatever that ruling is with the parental rights.
That's it. You confirmed that, right?
Yeah.
You accidentally dropped your cell phone in her car underneath the car seat.
Or I'm not sure which, but yes.
And just so happened that same day,
underneath the car seat is out.
Yeah, you're in Kenosha again. Text messages to her cell phone that we had the whole string.
Good, but that's not how I knew she was in Kenosha. How I knew she was in Kenosha is because when she dropped off the kids, she was taking a flower for her brother's pond down there, and she hid her nice jacket in the back. And when we were looking for the sweatshirts in the car, I saw the nice jacket in the back. It said, and I said, that's probably because she's going on Kenosha again. Mm-hmm. That's it. Going to see your boyfriend. Right?
I'd be upset with that.
I mean, it stings a little bit, but ultimately, I can't unpoison the relationship, I can't uncheat on her.
Is there jealousy going on?
Yeah, a bit, a bit.
Are you expressing that?
Yeah, at times, I tell her because she's jealous too, I said the jealousy for us doesn't allow us to be friends, doesn't allow us to have a calm conversation. If I, even like yesterday when I was talking to her or whatever, she said, I sent you an email, right? So, okay, cool, I'll check it when I get home. She's like, of course you're not home. I go, geez,
So you dropped your cell phone?
Yeah, I dropped the cell phone.
And once you find her in Kenosha?
I just knew she went to Kenosha.
Okay. She confirms that. Olivia confirms that. So you follow me, man? These sequence of events, she's saying that you're following her.
She says a lot of shit, you know.
And that you're having conversations about following her. You're looking through her boyfriend's stuff on Facebook, right?
I looked him up, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you look him up criminally?
Yeah, I see that and see what's going on.
Good.
Okay, so this becomes a big deal too, right? So the fact that Zach looked up the decedent, who we think is the decedent, we don't know if he's actually dead, but and because he was called Leo on Facebook, I believe, because Zach thinks that at this point he thinks his name's Leo. He doesn't know that all these people are the same guy, Rosario, Leo, Jr. But he looked him up on Facebook and he downloaded some photos of him and put them in a folder on his computer, right? So supposedly that's stalking, right? Now, why did Zach do that? Zach was concerned about the company that, not so much the company that Sadie was keeping, but who his children were being exposed to. So, yeah, Mara, you're right on it. I don't think you've been following this, but you're on it. His kids were around him. Yeah, that's it. What it comes down to. Yes, exactly, Rachel. So he doesn't have a right to see who will be around his daughter. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you're right on it too, Rachel. That's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to work out who this person was, who was supposedly going to be hanging out with his children. And he has a 12, 13-year-old daughter. Yeah. And 2 little sons. So I'd be a bit interested in who that person was too, personally. Zach had a very good reason to know who his daughter was around. Yeah. That's correct.
Doing all these things, right?
I did some things, yeah.
Everything that she's told us, you've done.
I don't know that that's true at all.
Well, it happened. The things she's claiming happened, right?
Maybe not the way they say it happened. Yeah, hold on. I mean, just look, I'm not trying to call you gullible, but she says that she went to her brother's house and she found the cell phone, right? Now I call the carrier and the carrier says the cell phone ends up down in Kenosha. But she says that she literally drove like 2 miles away to her brother's house and found the cell phone, yet left the cell phone on and took it to Kenosha. So you tell me, guys, what fucking adds up?
That's what she told us.
Well, that's what she told me, but
She and tell you that though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying though, why would she tell you the truth versus telling us the truth? I mean, you guys obviously have a rocky thing. She's suspecting that you're doing this, following her doing this. Why is she going to be honest with you?
I don't know what she's telling you for the stalking accusations here, guys, but I'm just telling you something doesn't add up in that story specifically. Because if I call the carrier and the carrier says the cell phone goes down to fucking Kenosha, right? Well, then if she says she found the cell phone at her brother's house, which is by my house, then why the fuck did you drive all the way to Kenosha before you shut it off?
How do you know that she found it before she went to Kenosha?
That's what she told me.
Okay. Well, yeah, then that wouldn't make sense.
Right. So I hear you. Okay, you guys got a story, but I'm telling you, all her stories are bullshit.
That's why we're getting your side now. We didn't get that before. Now you're telling us, hey, there's more.
I'm just saying, that's what we're trying to figure out. Way down here to ask me about fucking stealing a cell phone or whatever the shit, and then she wouldn't give it back before I said, fine, I took it to track you, which is bullshit. I just want to get the damn cell phone back because, mind you, I took the fucking cell phone and I took a video of the police because Snapchat, like, you have to save the messages and shit. And I'm just like, holy fuck, I lost the cell phone and I don't know what to do. And if you go through her text messages, you'll probably see that text message, or did I call her? How did I call her about that? Because if you lose a fucking phone, that's got whatever, fucking kill yourself, man. Like, holy shit, that makes you sick, But it was just her that took it. But to be fair, in the first place, I thought she stole it. Like, I thought she went in the house and took it, but then I was like, no, I was outside cleaning the van with it in my pocket, so she didn't take it from me, so I must have dropped it. And to be fair, maybe I didn't drop it in the truck. Maybe I just dropped it outside the truck and she picked it up, But something fucking happened there. Something happened there where she kept it on until she went to Kenosha. And then she bragged that, she found it right away at her brother's house. So tell me.
Tonight you went with your house, look through the window. Let's get back to that.
Sure.
Can you take anything?
No.
Do you go in any vehicles in that?
No, I got those accusations too. No, you went in his truck and you took some shit. No, the fuck I didn't. And then he wanted to kill me about it or what, he was gonna beat me up or whatever. I said, I didn't fucking take your shit. I didn't take your shit. Spare me the accusations.
There's nothing in your house that's his?
No.
Nothing.
There's nothing in my house that's his, man.
Nothing on your house?
Nothing in my house that's his. I'm telling you, nothing. I wrote down his information off a CCAP.
Where's that?
I don't know. I think I threw it away at this point. Clean all my shit out.
What about his registration card for his truck?
I don't have the registration card for his truck. I heard that bullshit story too. Same bullshit out of Sadie. You took it. No, the fuck I didn't.
How would Sadie get this information? Like, how would Sadie know that you allegedly? Why would she say to you, you took his registration?
I don't know what the fuck he did with his registration or what the stories are or Zach must have done it. Zach does everything. I have no fucking idea, man.
No
Seen
cheating.
the paper at your house?
No, his information, I wrote it down, when I looked him up, but outside of that, no.
He has no
He's the one that
clue.
got that information from Jeannie.
Of his address and everything?
His name, yeah. She's friends with him as Junior on his whatever the fuck it is on Facebook, and that's how I, figured it out. But it actually,
The Facebook?
No.
Oh.
Jeannie does.
Oh,
right.
Okay, I thought you were talking.
So yeah, Sadie was talking to Grandma about it, and then Grandma shared that information. He came back and gave me his full name.
And his address?
No, I took his information on CCAP.
Do you ask her, like, hey, what do you know about this guy's name? Do you ask her?
No,
She came back.
She volunteers that. Yeah, Jeannie told me that he's a contractor, and whatever. I was like, all right, that's fine. That's fine. My dad does something similar to right now. I work part-time at MATC and help out Saul, so.
What's his address?
I don't remember it all.
You know where it is in Kenosha?
Nothing.
You ever been by his place? Drove down by his place?
Dudes, really? You keep asking me, I keep telling you. What else you got?
What else you got?
There's cameras everywhere, dude. So not everywhere. Great. Everybody's got Ring doorbells now. Everybody's got cameras that are popping on these streets, right? You know that. We know that.
Yes, there's cameras everywhere. What have you got?
To save us a bunch of time, just tell us the truth, because when we go pull cameras and your vehicle comes up driving past somewhere in the area,
Right.
then that doesn't look good for you, right?
Yeah, however it's gonna look, I just wanna look out for the well-being of my kids. I don't know what you're getting at. Stalking, I don't really know what the laws or the rules are there. I've taken an interest and I've gone and I've looked at some things just to get a bit of truth for myself. I'm seeing somebody else. She's got the right to see somebody else. I'm not trying to make a big fucking deal out of it. To be stealing
You were,
shit.
man. You were making a big deal. You were checking things out.
I mean,
based on what you're telling me today, you were checking things out. You're watching out.
Look, there were a couple occasions when I went to verify it, but making this thing like I'm stalking her, I'm tracking her, I fucking hacked her cell phone or whatever, take a goddamn, I didn't, okay? I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
In the statute book, man, a couple times, it's stalking.
I don't know what it is, but once I verified some information, once you know, then you can fucking know, okay? I mean, if she didn't play games about it, then I would have known right away. There wouldn't have been anything to go check. But I didn't fucking track her on the cell phone. I dropped the cell phone. And this accusation that I even dropped it in the truck was really her stipulation, because I don't even think I fucking dropped it in the truck. My only thought was that if I did, it was when I leaned in to get the hooded sweatshirts, the boys' sweatshirts out of the middle console. I don't even know if that's the case. I don't. Again, that's her version of shit, and I don't know. Because again, her account was, she took that shit down to fucking Kenosha before she shut it off. Well, if you thought I was tracking you, why would you take it to Kenosha anyway?
She had a different account for us. She had a different account.
All right, well, I don't know her fucking account. It's just,
She found the phone after a text message you sent her about being in Kenosha, and she's like, oh shit.
No, she was going to fucking Kenosha because she was all dolled up and happy and excited. She always calls me Zachariah when she's excited. But because of the way she behaved, and she spilled some of the water from the plant that she was taking over to her brother's house on her, and she was bitching about it. I'm like, well, all dressed up, we're going out on a Friday night. You're going down to Kenosha. Not because I had a fucking tracker to figure it out. And then why would I wait 3 days before calling the carrier to fucking verify? And if you ask, I spent the fucking weekend looking for the damn phone. So still, I know, I hear Sadie spin. You guys are soaked in it. That's great, but please.
Unfortunately, Sadie's spin is messed up. Spin, and you talk to them separately, and things are matching up with what they have to say.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they sat and planned this out for 3 days about what they're going to come talk to you about, talk about you about. So, man, it's damn near impossible because you know what? We're going to trip them up. And they didn't trip up.
Bullshit. So this weekend, bullshit, man.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. Because this weekend, my daughter, she comes to me and she says, "Hey, Dad, do you know how to hack a phone?" And I go, "No." She's like, "Well, you worked at the phone company." "Yeah, I worked at the phone company, but you don't know how to hack a phone." "No, babe, I have no idea how to hack a phone," or whatever the fuck. No shit. Today, last night or this morning or whatever, Sadie's bullshit. "You hacked all my stuff last night." Because I called her and I said, "What are you telling our daughter?
Wow.
You're putting some ideas in our daughter's head about me hacking your shit just because I used to work with a phone company?" So whatever's getting conveyed there, I don't fucking know, but there's all sorts of these bullshit stories going on. And no, like I said, you might catch a half truth, but I mean, what's the real truth?
We don't know, so we're trying to figure out.
Then they brought your daughter out the middle of the night, brought her up to the window to look at her mother with another dude.
I didn't know it was another dude.
Come on, you just said it. Some other dude's car's in the yard.
Yeah, because I knew after the fact, not because I knew in the first place.
The reason you went there is because there was another dude.
No, the reason I went there is because something was going on. To be honest,
a premonition that that she was with some other guy.
No.
That's what you said. You just said that about 10 minutes ago.
I had a premonition that something was up that night, that she was with another guy. I honestly expected it was going to be her friend from high school over there getting fucked up, doing drugs. But no, it was another guy. And no, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to earlier. So him saying to the cops that he thought that she was over there with her friends doing drugs, right? And that's not a great excuse either for bringing the daughter and looking through the window, right? So, and I recalled there being this other reason, and that is that the daughter didn't believe that she was seeing somebody, and he wanted to prove it, right? And so that's why he brought her up to the window. Regardless, going up to the window, especially bringing her up to the window, not Zach's finest moment. Just not Zach's finest moment. But that's probably the only thing that I could say along the way that was Zach straying into what could be perceived as stalker territory, or bad dad moment kind of territory. But in order to be done for stalking, I think you need to be doing all these things like consistently. The phone thing, that was a genuine mistake. Like, he dropped his phone and he proved that he wasn't tracking her because there was none of that stuff on the phone. There was no tracking stuff on the phone. He actually had to call the company to find out where his phone was. She tried to say that he had installed tracking devices in the car. There was a tracking device found that was still in its box, so never was used. There's a bunch of these things that just was completely disproven. This thing about him looking up Rosalio on Facebook, well, that's a good reason for that. He was worried about who was hanging around with the children. So all of these things have really good explanations, except for that one thing, and that's him taking his daughter and looking through that window. That doesn't add up to stalking. That certainly doesn't add up to murder.
I just knew something was up, right?
Why would you bring a daughter to look through the window?
Yeah, the trackers were for the work vehicles, but they were still in unopened boxes. Yeah.
She just wanted to go look too.
She stayed in the car initially.
Well, to be honest, man, I nor her would have ever expected Mom to be in that position with some dude, okay? Because I wouldn't fucking expect it.
Well, you didn't expect it when you went over there.
No, that's not true. I mean, you want me to assume that the worst for her, but no, she's actually been a good mom for the most part. It's been a good relationship for the most part, and she's not been promiscuous. She's been very loyal. To see another car in the driveway, and if she started doing coke with her friends, is not in that circle of friends to know whose Colorado plates those are.
But okay, so I don't believe he's told two different stories in this interview. That was the first story he told here, right? So he didn't explain beforehand what he was doing at the window there. He said that he found out after the fact that there was another guy there after, like, he looked through the window, right? Or after he got there, right? Because he thought on going there that there was going to be friends and drugs. But then when he arrived there, he saw the other dude's car and that she was with him, right? So he hasn't told two stories there in this interrogation. The thing about her not the daughter not believing about there being another guy, I can't remember whether that was from trial or whether we've heard that since from Sol. So, but that's not here. So I can't blame that one on Zach. Zach didn't testify.
Right? And when I pulled in, that's what my headlights were looking at. Colorado plates. What the fuck is that? Somebody's in from out of town. I didn't expect she was fucking somebody else. And honestly, she said she didn't. I don't know that I believe her, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at this point, because this back and forth shit, do you still care, don't you still care, whatever, we should see other people, there's not a sentence that can be said in a relationship that isn't everything's my fucking fault. So whatever.
Well, I think it goes both ways. I mean, we're in the middle, unfortunately. Mom's feeding her this information, dad's feeding her this information, she is in the middle.
No.
Said she'd use that bond.
She's not in the and she gathers information, man. She sits outside the fucking open doors and windows. She'll go up to the closed door and listen and shit. Like, she pulls information, and that's where I even got tipped off about shit or whatever and suspicious. Now, going and verifying the information, whatever rules I broke to verify the information, isn't because it came from nowhere. I believe that there's some truth to what my daughter was reading, No, I'm not telling some other dude that she loves him. We get in big fights from time to time or whatever. We need a month away. We need a month and a half away. There's just moments.
You ever married?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But there was no legal separation or things like that. It was just kind of a soft breakup. She needed space, you need space, but you guys still kind of.
Shit, after she had me arrested on Christmas Eve, we went to court 2 weeks later, and the judge asked her pointedly, are you guys still together? And she had to say no. So no, there wasn't a breakup. It was retroactively 2 weeks ago, we were not together at the time that we got in an argument and separated. So no, it's always been kind of a blur or in the middle, It's always been open to other relationships and space when we need it. It hasn't been a thing where it's consistent, I guess, I mean, like I told you, when I worked for AT&T, my last year was out on the coast of California. I wasn't here. I had to travel back and see her. For the 2 years before that, 2.5 years before that, I was up in Hudson, Wisconsin. I wasn't here. It's not, this isn't new, I mean, the only thing that was new is her pretending like we were going to get back together when really not. The only thing that was really new was she's now slapping across the face and fighting with her, and hitting the kids. And that, I've got recordings on, what the fuck is going on? And arguments with her, it just makes no sense, the shit that's coming out of her mouth, and whether you think she's telling the truth or not, wherever the fuck I dropped the phone, outside the truck, inside the truck, whatever the fuck, you can think whatever you want. At the end of the day, if she knew, which she claims to have known, found it under the seat, drove all the fucking way down to Kenosha before she shuts it off, what does that tell you? Bullshit. Just bullshit. No, I can't hack a cell phone. It's bullshit. Just more bullshit. Everything that goes wrong in the world is not my fucking fault. Sure. I'm sorry. It's just not. That's on her to try to account for, but the best she can.
Okay, so woman, why did they say they needed to talk to him? Because they say that Sadie, the mother of his children, has turned up and made allegations of stalking against Zach. So that he has been tracking her, that he's been like following her and her new boyfriend around like digitally, like hacking her phone, stalking them on Facebook or whatever, just basically terrorizing them. And their daughter has come along and corroborated these things. Obviously under the guidance or coaching of the mum. The daughter being a troubled girl, a girl who's going through some stuff. So yeah, that's the pretense. That's the pretense.
He do his point the finger at me, and I have no fucking idea. So
this is going to come to a head in the next sort of 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's going both ways, and you're pointing finger. Her's pointing Mary.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's lack of bill sometimes. I suppose.
And the one in the middle,
Our daughter.
we're not supposed to believe.
Well, she got a fucked up version too. I mean, you know, when we went to court for the.
Oh, well,
No, we went up. Well, hear me out, man. I mean, I see you're quick to cut me off, but the truth is, it's like even when we went to court, you know, after the now, mind you, my daughter was not there. Mom swung the broom at my face. She shoved me to the door 4 times. All sorts of bullshit, right? We show up at court. My daughter can't even talk to me. She won't look at me. She hates my guts because of whatever the fuck mom told her. You know, I mean, I hear you.
that's what she wasn't like that today, man. I'm telling you, she wasn't like that today. She took your side.
By and large, yeah, but
But had she wanted to throw you under the bus, she wouldn't took your side.
I don't.
She's not going to call you good dad.
Look,
I'm not going to say, hey, we're awesome together, and then tell me this shit about you, of what you did.
You know, fucking says you. I know my daughter, and she does that shit, man. And it's frustrating for me as a dad. I hear you. I like that you have faith. I do too, by and large, but it's not true. It's not true.
Okay.
She does now. Whether she was telling the truth today or whatever the fuck happened, no, I can guarantee you there was some embellishment there. She does that shit. Try to spare the wrath or whatever. She does that shit. And I don't really know what she asked her. I don't know what. I wasn't there for it, but you know, I'm pretty good at calling her out on it. And she usually doesn't want dad around for those reasons. Even when we talked to the police in Germantown, she's like, no, I don't want dad there. You know, had to go into the room with mom. I'm like, all right, you know, I told Sadie, just, well, you know, dad sniffs that shell a lot better than mom does, right? I mean, yeah. And if I was in there, I probably would have caught her. I mean, come on.
How many times did you see this dude she was with?
Sadie, once at her place, never.
That's it?
Yeah, otherwise, she would go down to visit him.
Was he ever
Once
over
at her
house
place.
Other than that one time?
I only saw him one time alone. Again, you think I'm over there stalking every night? I'm not. I got a buddy that lives 2 houses down, and he said, hey, are you over there? Because I see another vehicle in the driveway. No, I'm not, or whatever. Somebody else, a friend's visiting. I don't fucking know. But no.
Is a friend down the road?
Steve,
Or is he, which way?
he's, she lives on Angled Street, so he's northwest.
Does she know who he is?
There's no, Sadie, know your buddy? Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're neighbors, mutual. Yeah.
Did you ever tell him, like, dude, if you ever see any cars, let me know? You ever said like nothing like that to him?
No.
Might have some coffee. Do you need more water?
I'm not gonna water. I gotta have, but
Give me a minute and talk to him real quick. I'm right back, right?
yeah, what time is it, man? I mean, I'm tired.
Me too. 11:57. So, just give me a second.
Right. I'm not just shaking the tape, you know.
$11:57. He has no idea. Like zero. He's never seen the light of day again. He also has no idea that Rosalio's disappeared.
You get a few properties, huh? Rentals? Where are they all at? North Milwaukee? Around Deer area? How many you got?
Technically one, but Sadie's old place, it's not taken out of her name at the moment, but I bought it out of the sheriff's because she bought it through her mom passed away. She had this inheritance and she got it and just sent it right to
Sure.
take it.
Sure. What's that address?
Which one?
The one in around Deer you're talking about.
Sadie's.
Yeah.
50.
What they consider Milwaukee?
It's Brown Deer, Milwaukee County Field now.
Right. Any other properties you own right now?
One of her brother states.
Where's that?
Is it's on Port Ave. It's in Milwaukee. It's
What's the brother's name?
TJ. Tajana.
Tajana?
TJ. That's what he goes by.
Okay. He's currently living there right now?
Yeah, he's going.
What about the one in Brown Deer? Anybody living there? Who's your tenants?
Jason.
You know the properties? Where you contemplating moving to? You said earlier you're gonna move
Down to West Dallas.
Where you got land up there?
Roommate. Did a room down there, trying to clean out the house and fix up the house and move it out.
So whose is it?
The house. In my one.
Yeah.
Mine.
Well, the house you're gonna move into. Or your
It's around. It's just the buddy ones, got a spare room.
Okay.
So,
What's your name? Command?
Andrew.
And last name?
Shit, we've been friends that long. Last name is, he just broke up with this girl. He asked me if I want to make her the other half and said that might work. But Andrew's last name.
You know the address there?
No, I got a bit done at home actually. Because I'm not moving in until his, ex-girlfriend moves out. So,
Okay. So let's talk about Sunday, man. Explain your day to me on Sunday.
Why do you want to know about my Sunday, officer?
Had the kids. Yeah, I think I had the kids all day Sunday. Clean up the house. I think we set up his ramp. Yeah, we set up TV and couch and everything like that downstairs so we can hang out and watch cartoons and movies and shit.
All of them are hanging out? So what time?
He'll say he picked them up in the evenings.
What time she call?
I don't remember yet.
Was it like late in the afternoon?
Yeah, generally, I don't remember offhand.
Did you do anything that night?
I think I took a nap probably.
Sunday night's the
I
night.
went over to my girlfriend's house, I'm not sure.
Was she there tonight, your girlfriend?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Christine.
I haven't talked to you guys yet. Christine?
Christine.
What's Christine's last name?
Wednesburg.
Lorensburg.
She already on Wednesburg.
Lorensburg. She a local girl up there?
Yep.
How old is she? Your age or?
Still younger.
Or younger? Okay. All right. So you said maybe you went over there? Do you know for sure what you did? I mean, it was what, 2 days? 1 day ago? 2 days ago? Not yesterday?
I'm guessing I went over there. I don't remember exactly. I'm guessing I went over by her, something.
Did you spend the night there?
I don't ask her.
Well, I'm asking you. These are important questions, man.
I don't remember the question. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending on my
It was
percentage.
2 nights ago. You don't remember what you did 2 nights ago? You spent the night. Did you drink or do any drug? No.
No, I don't remember. I stayed the whole night. I don't know.
I mean, is it common for you to stay all night, or is it common for you to leave at 4 in the morning?
Depends if her sister's home. If her sister's home, sometimes she's up late watching TV, so I'll get up and I'll get home.
What's your sister's name?
Is sister's name Cassie.
Okay, so Zach's really
She-
fading right now. He's nearly asleep.
And we'll do it on the apartment. Probably.
So Kathy's there, you're not?
No, I'm there alone. She is, but sometimes Cassie stays up late watching TV. If that's going to keep me up, I'll get up and go home.
Okay. Do you remember what you did last night?
was a little effort for a bit. I did some running around. And then I left for a bit and I came back. Went down to the White's house or whatever.
Who's that?
Milwaukee.
Can you give me his name?
Jason J.
So I know Jay.
Yeah, that's all I know. I mean, or something.
Is his number in your phone? Under Jason?
No.
Under Jay?
Probably not.
What else would it be under?
All sorts of shit. I know all sorts of abbreviations for people's name.
Does it start with a J?
His name does hit in the phone.
What about the contact? Does it start with a J? Does he have a nickname?
A bunch of them.
Like what? What are they?
Korean Jesus, I don't know.
Would he be Korean Jesus?
I
mean, it's a buddy, right? Your buddy that you hang out with, man. You don't know what his contact's under. When you go to call Jason, what do you go on your phone?
Shop or something like that.
Shop.
I don't know.
Okay.
It'll be something.
Shop.
Yeah.
All right, that helps.
Yeah.
He's my buddy, man. I look for Vinny when I call him.
Okay, he's more of an acquaintance. I mean, asking for some help with some shit, working on a friend's roof and that kind of stuff. So
what else?
I'm a friend if that's all.
What else did you do last night, man?
Slept. I don't know. What did we do last night?
I don't know.
We watched a movie. I remember. Oh, that no, we watched it this morning. Yeah, we watched it this morning. We watched it's got Johnny Depp in it, man. Old school gangster movie. He plays Danger, John Danger. That was this morning. And then
Who's we?
my girl and I.
Okay. All right. So that was this morning. So did you wake up?
Yeah, but did I go over last night or did I come over in the morning? Is the
Wow.
All right, now we're talking like 8 hours, 10 hours ago, man.
Yeah, and I'm tired as fuck, man. And you're asking me, and I'm trying not to blur the days because sometimes, I'll come over at like 2 in the morning or some shit, or 4 in the morning or some shit. It just depends. But last night, did I sleep over by her? Yeah, because I came back after I went and talked to Jay. So yeah.
Thank you, Kay Smith. That's so nice of you. Mwah.
Sunday.
Much appreciated.
I think he just called her and he said, I'm on the phone. If I'm not mistaken. I think that was something cell phone.
I don't know. You remember everything in detail for the last 4 months, dude.
No, I don't.
2 nights ago, it's unnecessary.
No, that's bullshit. I just told you if I
Dude.
had my cell phone out for the light or not when I went and saw us at her house, everything in detail. No, I don't remember everything. I remember some things. I remember the gist of things more than anything. I'm not a detailed guy. My little brother, on the other hand, he can probably recite song lyrics and tell you where bands are from and where they play and all that shit. I don't have that,
What have you told us from the last time you had been over?
Sure, yeah. I don't have an eidetic memory, man. I don't, and I'm tired as well. So I kind of got to organize things. I got to write things down, keep a little journal and shit. And I do write that. I write that out. This is what happened today. This is the next.
Where's that?
It's on my computer.
How many meters you got?
Couple of broken ones in there. It's one of those.
Which one do you use? Which one do you use?
Depends on what I'm doing, I suppose.
Which one do you use when you write your journal?
Oh, here we go.
Why?
Just wondering. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there, but.
Yeah, one of them. Do you want a copy of the journal?
Oh, we're gonna see your journal. Just make.
Oh, we're going to see it.
Oh. Why are you going to see the journal?
It's pertaining to this case.
Stalking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your internet searches.
Okay.
Now you have a journal where you're documenting everything you do.
I don't know about everything I do, but I document some stuff in regards to the well-being of my kids and fighting for cars.
Perfect, man. That should help you. What computer is it?
The Apple, notebook, iPad, things like that. Look, I don't know the laws on being a stalker or not being a stalker. I've taken a look. So how long the fuck you be going for my journal on my computer? I'd be happy to show you. I'd be happy to send it to you or whatever.
Oh, man, you have no idea.
I don't know what's going on right now.
I want to know where you were Sunday night.
I just told you.
Well, you think you told me.
I mean, okay.
Oh, there's a big difference.
I'm not sure what you're getting at. But what I can tell you is, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm tired as fuck. Either take me home or give me a lawyer. Because I'm not really, what you're doing is really odd. It's almost like a threat about the computer, and that's peculiar to me.
Not threatening. The case involving stalking. She's alleging that you've been tracking her, you're chasing her with electronic devices and things like that.
I don't think I crossed any line. Yeah, I get it, but I don't think I crossed any line.
Well, that's what he's saying, like, we're gonna get that information from those devices.
All right, we'll do my Google searches or whatever you guys gotta do, but something's, I don't know, like I said, you're gonna threaten me about keeping a journal.
Dude, I ain't threatening. You're just telling me you have a journal of everything you do, so that.
No, I didn't say everything I do. I didn't say everything I do.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, you want to twist words too, like Sadie, man, I don't know what it's gonna do us. We're trying to have a conversation about stuff. We're trying to tell you how things go, but I don't know what you're doing over there. It's weird.
Yeah, I keep always saying that we'll look in the journal. Okay.
No, yeah,
I mean, I don't share how many steps I take. I don't have to keep a journal and shit like that too, but I also know 2 nights ago.
The journal
that my place.
literally called custody for my kids' well-being. I mean, what the fuck?
Okay, so that's what we're asking, but and what computer electronic device is it on?
Dude, get me a lawyer. Take me home. You pick it. This is crazy. This is fucking nonsense.
All right, we're done. We can't talk to you no more.
I didn't do shit. I don't know what you want from me. This is crazy. I don't think I crossed any fucking lines.
All right. So what's gonna happen is they're also gonna take you over across the street. Jail, you'll have, what time is it? After midnight. Within 40 hours, you'll have a preliminary hearing for stalking. So I can't guarantee you.
48 hours? What the fuck?
Within 48 hours, I said. It could be tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or else it'll be Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I don't know the exact time.
Are you fucking
Tomorrow
kidding me?
morning, we will have a meeting with our district attorney's office.
I didn't do shit to her. What are you talking
So that's
about?
what's happening tonight. So what we can't talk about anymore, you have requested an attorney, so that's what's gonna happen tonight. I just wanna make you aware of that.
This is fucking bananas, you guys.
All right.
For stalking, get the fuck out of here.
Yep, that's the charge.
Come on now, really?
Yep.
48
Just
hours?
a minute, I'll get the officers to come in here and then they'll get you out of here like you requested. All right?
Yeah.
Yep. Low light. No. No. He is sitting in prison right now awaiting his appeal.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Right. And that was his last moments of freedom, guys. He got life. Now I will tell you in a moment. Is that the end? Yeah, that's the end. I'll tell you in a moment what happened next. So I'm just going to share this tab. Now, P.S. This website is absolutely fantastic. It has so much incredible information. This is freezachariahanderson.org, www.freezachariahanderson.org. If you are not in the US and you're struggling to get a secure connection to the website, there's just a little bit of a problem with the DNS server at the moment. But if you do type in www.freezachariahanderson.org, you should get to it okay. Dali's worked that one out just in the last hour or two. You should get to it fine. Now, if you go to Zach's case and you go to the investigation, you'll find this part. And you have to click along the right and you get to timeline and you'll see what happens next. So May 19th, 10:52 p.m., officers begin an interrogation of Zach at Kenosha Public Safety Building. That's what we just watched. 12:16 a.m., the interrogation of Zach concludes when he asks to speak with a lawyer. Right, so he's booked into Kenosha County Jail on stalking charges. 11:20 a.m., Kenosha PD obtains a second search warrant for Zach's residence, right? Because earlier, they began at 7 p.m. They began a search of Zach's home in Mequon. He mustn't have known that. He must have been elsewhere or already at the police station, because he didn't seem to know anything of that when he was in the police station in that interrogation, right? I don't think Solomon or David is in chat anymore to answer that. But I mean, he seemed to have no clue about what was going on, so I doubt that he knew. Right. So May 20, there was a second search warrant. Then things really started, right? So Zach's van is towed from his house to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab. Canine handlers arrived to Zach's house. Then some interviews. Officers leave an external hard drive with employees at BP. So they start trying to get like CCTV of places that he's been. Kenosha PD get a statement from Michael Campbell. Michael Campbell is an associate of Rosalio Gutierrez, and he's somebody who went and paid Zach a visit in a kind of not so kind way. Celia is Rosalio's mother. She arrives to Kenosha from Colorado. Now, May 21st, so we're talking just like 2 days later, Kenosha PD and several other agencies searched Zach's property and fire pit. Only non-human bones were found. Schultes pumps out the septic tank at Zach's residence. No weapons or body parts were found. The City of Mequon Streets Department dumped out the contents of the dumpster on Zach's property. Nothing of evidentiary value was found. They go to Walmart to find out what Zach had purchased on the 18th. They request video footage from Quick Trip. Lots of interviews with people, his girlfriend's sister, Zach's friend, Zach's cousin's sister, Zach's friend. Okay, so time goes on. Now, you may be wondering, as time goes on, preliminary hearings happened. Why is Zach not free? Right? They set his bail very, very high, like much higher than you would expect for a stalking charge, right? So they set it really high so that they could keep him in jail for long enough to do a lot of investigation, right? And as David was saying earlier, where was it? Go back to David's comment. The family decided not to spend the money on the bail, instead to put it to attorney's fees, right? So that was probably really good advice at the time, but if Zach had been out and able to help his
legal team.
Yeah, help his legal team, would that have been better? I mean, there's only so much money to go around, isn't there? So he was stuck in jail while all this was going on, right? So May 25, officers review video footage, Highline gas station, blah, blah, blah. May 26, they're interviewing Solomon, his brother, Jennifer, his brother's girlfriend. They're now married. Kim Lavora, that's one of the women that Rosalio also was just kind of half seeing. On May 27, the Anderson family tree farm is searched from ground to air. Nothing of evidentiary value is found. Kenosha PD released the scene at Rosalio's apartment, May 27. Now that would have been around when his mother went in and found his Rosalio's phone and wallet in the freezer, It took his mother to go in and find those pieces of evidence in the freezer, right? So they had the crime scene for that long, but his mother went in and found that. What were they doing, right? June 1st. Officers received an email from Lieutenant Matt Spence and Sheboygan County Sheriff Department stating that Ken Schurz encountered two people at the tree farm at the time of the incident. Detective Lorne Ancient interviews Ken Schurz, who states on the 19th of the 5th he was hunting and saw two people walking around the northeast corner of the tree farm. He has no further information. Detective Lorne Ancient interviews Doc James, who states he has only ever seen the owners of the tree farm a handful of times and never on the northeast corner of the farm. So I think that probably went nowhere. June 3rd, detectives conduct another walking search of the Anderson family tree farm. Blah, 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 blah. This goes on and on and on. July 28th, Kenosha PD, Sheboygan Sheriff, Kenosha Museum, UW Oshkosh searched the Anderson tree farm on foot. No human bones or remains were located. Geez, they went there a lot. Another interview with Zenith. Got to September, more interviews. October, Detective Anxious reviews files on Zach's computer. November 2020. Now we have Lorne Anschutz re-interviewing OA, that's the daughter, with Sadie present at their home. Now, he's been held all the way up to December 2020, where 6 months later, 3 p.m., December 11th, Zach is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. Right. So absolutely no human remains found. Zero. In any of those places, just like you saw in the opening statements, those pieces that I've shown you of the opening statements, where Nicole Muller keeps repeating, no body, no human remains, no murder weapon, no witnesses. Nothing of evidentiary value found in all of those places, not in the bodies of water around the crime scene, not around the defendant's house, not in the tree farm, nowhere, right? Yet they went after Mr. Anderson. Really, all they tried to use was this pinprick of what they said was blood, but it was never proven to be blood. And they tried to say that it was a DNA match, yet there's no proof that it's a DNA match. Pinprick of touch DNA on the inside of Zach's van. And all of this other character evidence about him supposedly being a stalker. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And they bought it. Yeah, the jury bought this. So, total time of Zach's wrongful incarceration, 1,831 days, 19 hours, 4 minutes, and 22, 23, 24 seconds. There you go. The jury was not bright at all. Yeah. So it's a very, very sad case. I recommend you guys having a look at this website. It's absolutely, there's been so much work put into this. There's his van. There's his van and a little pinprick of supposedly blood, but it looks just like a lot of other stains in the car that aren't blood. It's up in this top right-hand corner, I believe. Just up here. Lots and lots of information on here. All the documents, all of the interviews, the actual timeline. Actually, I'll go back. the actual timeline of everything that happened March 2020, all the text messages between everybody leading up to the event, between Zach and Sadie, and then between Rosalio and Sadie, and the woman he was going to meet that night, Narita. Yeah, we'll be going through it in more detail at another time. Yeah, it's very interesting. The filthy van that Zach somehow scrubbed of evidence. And then
removed of carpet.
Zach, yeah.
And yeah, Gravely had that shit moment when his own witness said that the car never had carpet.
That's right.
And then he starts, babbling, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the map between Zach's house and Rosalio's apartment and all of the traffic cameras that he somehow managed to avoid.
So we're not going to see you on any of those traffic cameras, are we?
No, well, they actually didn't. He did not appear on any traffic cameras whatsoever going to and from the apartment where he supposedly unalived a 300-pound man and did it without leaving any trace of himself or bringing any trace of the man with him except for a pinprick of supposed blood DNA in the van, and didn't leave any drag marks or anything like that either. And then got back to his house without showing his car on any traffic cameras, and managed to dispose of the body. By the way, his jail cellmates referred to him as Houdini because he was so good at clearly disposing of bodies. Yes. Plenty of other interesting things here. Why Sadie and OA's testimony doesn't add up about the whole visiting of her apartment or her house. Good stuff. So thank you to, there we go. Why the spec from Zach's van is misleading. Analysis of Dr. G's analysis video on Zachariah Anderson. That's from Lou. Thank you, Lou. Ah, dear. So yeah, thank you to the Anderson family who kindly make this available for us all to view. We are going to be doing as much as we can in lead up to the running of the trial, which will be happening just after Karen Reid ends in a couple of weeks. On this channel, guys, just look out for the date that I put it up for. Yeah, when I get a bit of a better idea of when Karen Reid's going to end, then I'll decide on the date that I'm going to start it. Check out the free Zachariah Anderson merch shop. We should write him a nice letter from the chat group. Absolutely beautiful waterfall. Some people here are in contact with Zach and write him letters from time to time. Is that Zach? Yeah, that's him there.
On the right.
Yeah. No, that's him in the middle. Shut up. Yeah, that's him. And thank you to Lee for being here. He is actually a very good looking man.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Stop it. He is a good looking man. And okay, I'll tell you something about him being a good looking man. People throughout the trial, the guilters, the people who just had to take the prosecution's word as it stood, were all like, oh, he's flirting, she's flirting with him. The defense attorney, she just thinks he's hot and that's why she's defending a murderer. And look at the way she looks at him and the way he looks at her, and it's disgusting. There was so much of that, and it was distracting and appalling. Nicole Muller is a fantastic attorney. She already faced enough
Yeah.
just gross misogynistic.
Hugely misogynistic.
She did in the courtroom herself,
From
the judge, from the DA,
Gravely.
even from her. I
Her-
would say even from her own
From the bald guy.
co-counsel. Yeah.
Her boss.
But she was tough. She's a
She
tough
was.
lady, and she did a fantastic job. Yeah, talking about this blonde lady here. Yep.
Yeah.
She was great. She's a really strong lawyer. Like, she didn't do a perfect job,
No,
but then again,
we're Monday morning quarterbacking here.
I mean,
So
there's that, but also I think a lot of the attorneys watching that we watched also were just not expecting this to be a guilty verdict. I think that she did her absolute best and really did not expect it to go this way, considering the weight of, the weight of non-evidence that there was against Zach. I think there was a shock. But that said, yeah, there was a lot of just disgusting, gross comments from social media, from YouTubers, people saying that they're flirting, that how can she smile at him? He's a murderer. They had a really good working relationship. She didn't see him as a murderer.
no.
She knew he was innocent. She could tell. Like, she'd gotten to know him and the family quite well, and she could see that there was just zero evidence against him. And so she was just treating him like a normal person.
Yeah.
So, yes, David. I thought they did a great job with the defense. The jury was stupid. And yet, to have people speaking this way about her just goes to show how where our society's at still, basically. They just could not look past the fact that a female attorney was there and being in any way hospitable to this good-looking
And
male defendant.
Gravely really, really screwed with her opening by objecting in that whole fiasco during her opening. So she really had to fight back and assert herself because, as Natalie Wisco told me, he effed with her, not in, she used the real word, but he effed with her flow during opening.
Yeah, we'll just say one thing about that. So right from the very start, she was absolutely hamstrung. So she couldn't even get her opening statement out in less than 3 days.
Yeah.
So she started her opening statement on day one. She was interrupted with a call for a mistrial, basically. There was an objection that was argued over a period of many hours. It took day two.
Yeah.
And into day three until she was able to finish her opening statement. So that's how much of a break there was. So how you're supposed to have an even playing field between yourself and the prosecutor when you're already on the back foot and your opening statement gets messed with like that, I just don't even fathom, right? She didn't get to start over.
Yeah.
She had to start halfway through on day three, after the jury had been sitting around twiddling their thumbs going, what's going on? Yeah. So absolutely ridiculous stuff. Yeah. Hey, Ange, how are you? It was disgusting. And the jury sat around for probably 40% of this case, right? They sat around a lot because of all the arguments.
Yeah, and this was the second trial too. The first one was a mistrial during opening as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So anyway, thank you all for hanging around. Please share the stream. Tell people about it. Tell people about this case. There will be more of this. We will be covering more of it over the following few weeks, months. And people on replay, put your comments into the comment section. Ask any questions. Look, if you don't know anything about this case, we're not trying to say you must believe he's innocent, you must believe he's not guilty without watching the trial. We're going to be playing the trial, right? You can make your mind up for yourself. Obviously, we've made our mind up because we've watched it all, right? But there's some fantastic resources here for you to have a look at. But absolutely, watch the trial, and you can go and watch it now if you'd like. It's over on Vilhammer Media in a playlist that's all condensed. There's no breaks. Really easy to just digest it all. So very, very welcome for you to go and watch it. It's a really interesting trial. But we believe that this man is not just not guilty, he's innocent. As he said at his sentencing, Judge, I'm not guilty, I'm innocent, Judge. There it is. Find it here, the trial. When will the trial replay be starting? I'll be starting it as soon as Karen Reid ends. So that'd be probably, 2.5 weeks or so? Maybe 3 weeks?
2 weeks, probably.
Please.
I think Karen Reid's wrapping up soonish.
I would hope so. Oh, please, please, please. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, David, for the $4.99 super chat and these ones. These ones. This is Zach's symbol. It means I love you in sign language. It's not a gang sign like some people were saying. It's not a gang sign. Yeah. Thank you so much. You thought KR was going well into June? Please no. Oh, well, June's soon, isn't it? Guess it might be.
I think
Who knows?
they're probably going to rest. The state's going to rest on next week. So
I don't know. And thank you everybody for your kind words and donations for Seraph. He's doing so much better. He's doing so much better. I'm actually going to send a nice video and message to the vet today to show the vet that, you know, he's alive. He's alive. Lovely. So good to have you here. Yes, Sarah, my baby. All right, guys. Might do mushroom trial tomorrow. I do a bit of a catch up on the mushroom lady. Seraph was really sick. He had like cat flu. I nearly was sent Seraph, but nursed him back to health. Mailboxes. Mushy. Yeah. All right, time for the song, everybody. Thank you for hanging out, Dolly.
Sure.
Much appreciated. And her name was Hella.
Her name was Hella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To the attention, excited ignorance. Her cat is